You know how we all try to stay on top of things,
Yeah.
especially when someone like Elon Musk launches something new. It's kind of like, okay, what's the latest?
Right. What's the new thing?
But what if that big reveal, well, has some serious wobbles right out of the gate? You've tuned into the deep dive, and today we're drilling down into some, well, pretty surprising claims about the freshly launched website for Elon Musk's DOGE office.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to just, drown you in headlines. We've sifted through the info, specifically a rather pointed YouTube video from the Ring of Fire, which paints a picture you might find unexpected.
Unexpected is, putting it mildly. This video doesn't just suggest a minor hiccup. It alleges that this new DOGE website has been repeatedly hacked, like in the very short time it's been live.
Wow.
Our aim in this deep dive is to really understand the reasons behind these claims, what the source argues these security failures indicate, and ultimately why this might be something you should pay attention to.
Okay, so the core of the matter, according to this video, is that this DOGE website has been compromised multiple times almost immediately after its launch. And what's really striking is the reason the alleged hackers themselves supposedly gave.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is the sort of fundamental security flaw they reportedly exploited, an open database. Now, think of a database as the engine room of a website, right? It holds all the crucial info.
Right, the back end stuff.
Exactly. The claim is that this engine room lacked basic security protocol. It was essentially wide open. This isn't like forgetting to lock a window. It's apparently like leaving the entire front door of a bank vault swinging open.
Wow, an open database. So anyone can just walk in and see what's what. The video actually goes a step further, doesn't it?
It does.
It claims these hackers didn't just look around. They apparently started making changes, pushing updates to the site, supposedly to make it better. One of them even described it as just a basic WordPress theme placeholder page.
Placeholder page, yeah.
I mean, a placeholder. That sounds incredibly rudimentary for something representing whatever the DOGE office is supposed to be.
It certainly raises serious questions about the initial development, A basic WordPress placeholder suggests a minimal level of customization and potentially reliance on default security settings, which are often just not robust enough for any kind of public-facing platform.
Especially not one with that kind of name attached.
Right, let alone one associated with a prominent figure. And the claim of an open database alongside this points to a potentially staggering oversight. The source also mentions that coding experts apparently reviewed the site and described it as feeling completely slapped together, full of errors, and even revealing sensitive details within the website's underlying code.
So it's not just a surface level issue. The video paints a picture of deep structural problems.
Yeah.
Okay, now the conversation in the video then shifts to where this website is actually hosted. They make a significant point about it being on Cloudflare, a third-party service. Why is that flagged as a potential issue?
Well, the crux of their argument is the comparison they draw with what they consider more secure practices for official government websites. They specifically cite departments like Energy, Justice, and the Pentagon, asserting that these entities utilize government-run servers or systems with very tightly controlled security protocols managed, within government infrastructure. Their perspective is that relying on a third party like Cloudflare, while it offers its own security features, it introduces a potential vulnerability because the ultimate control and oversight reside outside of direct government hands, apparently.
Right.
The implication is that for something even tangentially related to government functions, a higher level of internally managed security is expected and, according to this source, absent here.
Right. So the argument isn't necessarily that Cloudflare itself is insecure. I mean, it's a widely used service, right?
Exactly. Lots of sites use it.
But that for something potentially dealing with government-related information, the source believes there's an expectation of a more lockdown, sort of in-house security approach. And here's where the video's concern really broadens out. They don't just critique this one website. They use it to ask some pretty pointed questions about overall security.
Exactly. If we connect this back to the bigger picture, the video expresses a significant worry. If a website associated with a government department, and again, the framing strongly suggests the DOGE office is viewed this way by the source, exhibits such basic security vulnerabilities, what confidence can we have in the security of truly sensitive government data?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
They bring up the kinds of information we all rely on being protected. Treasury payments, social security numbers, personal and mortgage details handled by various government agencies. The underlying question is, if the basics are mishandled here, what does that suggest about the handling of far more critical data?
It's a powerful and frankly unsettling question the video poses. Now, it's crucial for you, the listener, to understand the tone of this YouTube video. It's not a dispassionate, neutral analysis at all.
No, that's a really important point to emphasize. The video adopts a very critical, even scathing perspective. The language used towards those deemed responsible for these alleged security failings is quite strong.
I noticed that.
You'll hear terms like idiots and morons used repeatedly. Now, we're not endorsing this language, obviously, but it's vital to recognize that this is a key aspect of how the information is presented in our source material.
Precisely. We're reporting on what the video claims, and importantly, the way it frames those claims, and it leads to the central question the video poses directly to you, the listener. If the individuals responsible for something as seemingly straightforward as a website can't ensure its security, what could the implications be for their ability to protect far more sensitive and vital information that affects all of us? It's definitely designed to make you think.
It certainly is. So, to sort of bring together the main points we've extracted from this Ring of Fire video. First, the claim of repeated hacking of Elon Musk's DOGE website very shortly after its launch.
Right, almost immediate.
Second, the alleged reasons for these hacks. A fundamentally insecure open database and a website construction described as, well, amateurish and error-ridden. Third, the criticism of using a third-party hosting service like Cloudflare instead of what the source considers more secure, government-run infrastructure, drawing comparisons with established government agencies. And finally, the overarching concern raised about the potential implications of such weak security for the safeguarding of sensitive government data that impacts, every citizen.
So as you process all of this, consider the picture painted by the source. Repeated breaches, a supposedly wide-open database, reliance on third-party hosting for something potentially government-related. It leaves you with a pretty significant question to ponder, doesn't it?
It really does.
What does this suggest about the level of technical oversight, the priority given to security, and perhaps the overall approach to digital infrastructure in the context described? It's a thought-provoking situation that really touches on fundamental issues of trust and security in our increasingly digital world.